It has rained for 2 weeks here in my area. I'm just gonna kind of give bird's eye view of what my 12-hour shifts are like at my nursing home job on the weekend. Well, it is really one of the most laid back type of environments I've ever seen. Like, okay, on Saturday mornings and Sunday, the office people are not there, so you kind of relax. I'm not saying the things that I do that you don't do what I do. I mean, we get there at 6 o'clock. I clock in at 6. So generally the first thing, well, if I didn't, I have to get up at 4:30 to get myself together and wake up and get together, shower and do everything I need to do to wake myself up. And I try to get out the door. I want to get out the door by 5:30, but sometimes it's like 5:40, So I'll drive by McDonald's and get breakfast. So the first 10 or 15 minutes I may gobble down my breakfast. And then the next thing I do is I get the ice cart, fill it up, and I pass ice in the section that I work, because if you don't pass ice early in the shift, people will be asking for ice all day, and you may be busy doing something else. So if you can, you pass ice, because breakfast usually comes out between the 7 and 8 o'clock a.m. hours. So you want to get the ice out of the way. Then I take a visual check on each patient just to see what's up, see what, how everybody, what's going on with everybody. Because one Saturday morning I went in and the patient was deceased, but he was a hospice patient. Not with the company that I'm with, but he was a hospice patient. So he had deceased sometime or another. I don't think he had been dead long. So you want to make a visual of your people, see if they're okay. And yeah, after I pass ice and all that, so we kind of just hang back, answer call lights if we need to before the breakfast trays come out. So after the breakfast trays come out, we pass them, and then we assist those that may need help with their meal. Like if they have had a stroke or just, dementia. It's just different. I mean, I got people on my hall that is 98 years old, and they don't forget where the spoon goes sometimes. That's what you do with a spoon. So you may have to help them eat. Okay, we get their breakfast. After we're done with breakfast, we prepare them for their baths and try to get them ready for their day, So that is like a 3-4 hour span until the next meal. So we try to get all of them done. So I do that. If you have anywhere from 10 to 12 and you got 4 hours, you're not going to be able to do many showers. You may be able to do a couple of showers at best. If you got more patients than you do time. Or you could save some of your showers after lunch, but you could let them know. Like one lady, I get her up, get her dressed, so that she's already up and got her day started, but I sit down for your shower. Since I have so many people to touch base with before lunch, I will save your shower until after lunch. So I do hers like that. And then the section that I have it, 2 women are pushing. One is almost 4, and then the other one is maybe about 360. But both of those women are well over 300 pounds. And one has had a stroke on the left side, but she can do more than the one that has use of both arms. The one that has use of both arms is getting where she can't hardly turn, so they're hard to take care of. So, they generally get a bed bath. They do get showers, but when you got somebody that big that is it's just, that's like an hour-long deal when you're bathing them. As far as a shower, bed bath, you might could get that all done in maybe 30 minutes flat or more, or maybe 30 to 40. It's just according what all you may have to do. If you do a complete bed change and everything, you may be in there a little longer. But when you're taking care of people that are considerably heavy, it takes a little bit more time sometimes to get them completed, especially if they have issues with mobility, even in the bed. You know, most of the time these people can't walk anymore anyway. Those days are over, so they're bed-bound people. And coupled with the weight, it makes it that much harder to take care of them. But generally, I try to get done between 11:30 and 12. Now, sometimes I'll get done like right before the trays come out for the lunch. You know, the trays be already on the hall, and the other aide is serving them because of the overload of patients that I have. And the reason that I have more now, used to this nursing home wasn't like that when they were 8-hour shifts. When we worked 8-hour shifts, the nursing home wouldn't give us someone about 8 patients to take care of. And, one side got showers and the other side, but all of that's out the door. So everybody has to do what they have to do to make sure everybody is tidied up and clean, you know. My main thing was bathing them, even if they're not getting a shower. Wash their face. I've seen people that have, like, some of the elderly, they have matted eyes. Don't leave that in their eyes. Clean that out of their eyes. Give them a good bed bath. I mean, they can smell good, at least for a while. And now I've worked with messy aides too. I mean, I've seen one aide when she changed that, she didn't take a washcloth in. I mean, not one. She just did one swipe. One swipe. Even if they've had a bowel movement, I know, you know you gotta do more than one swipe if somebody had a bowel movement. Now come on now. You got to do better than that. So you don't want to be messy. Do right by these people. I mean, one day it could be one of us in that bed. If somebody come in and do one swipe on us, I mean, that's not the way to do anybody. You know. So, you know, I think it's, you know, do right by them. And also, I like to make sure the room is tidied up. You know, if there's trash in the floor, pick it up. If you take the bag out of the can, make sure there's another one right there in the place of it. If it's some bags, if you got access to bags, you know, make sure you put another bag in there. You just want to do right, you know. And then I tell you another thing that gets me. Okay, I go in to bathe them or change them in the pad. Okay, the pad is all the way up about their hip area at the bottom. You know, how is that going to catch anything? You're going to end up having to do a complete bed change. So on your last round, even if you messy all night, you know, people that working behind you know how you are by your work. You are judged by your work. These are the same things that your co-workers, your fellow CNAs, these are the same people that you might need as a reference for a job. And you going in, leaving messy work, you know what, they gonna have to lie just to help you get another job. But I imagine they probably tell the truth just to get rid of you because you're messy. I mean, just be packed clean. You know, just do not leave mess, dirty diapers in. Just make sure you leave the room clean. It's the only thing I can say about that matter. And leave the patient in, you know, looking presentable. You know, best they can be in that city. Because if they could do everything, they wouldn't be in there. These people are in there because they can't be left alone anymore to take care of themselves. They got to have somebody there to watch over them. So that's my take on it. Okay, now let's get back to what I do after lunch. After the lunch hour, you know, we pretty much get down the bath and get through the lunch hour. You know, with the repeat for breakfast, you help assist with the meal. And then after lunch, I generally have to charge. I don't know if you can hear this rain or not, but it's coming down. I generally have to charge on the kiosk. So what we chart on there, we pretty much chart what we did for them as far as their bathing, their meal intake. We have to chart about bowel movement, their mobility, stuff like that. And sometimes that can take as much. It takes me as long as an hour just to do that, sit down at the computer. But back in the old days when I first started doing the CNA work, we did it on paper for a long time. And I'd say about 10 years ago, they started doing it on a kiosk on computers where you sit down and you put in everything on a computer. So just about every job you work now, you're going to be working on a computer, where it's CNA, retail, fashion, whatever. You're going to be working on a computer. So you know, you got to use your computer skills. And then after I chart, I usually go to my lunch. I work a full 8 hours before I go to lunch. So I clock in at 6 a.m., but I wait till about 2 o'clock before I take a lunch break. But I snack, you know, I may snack at something before 2 o'clock, but that's what I do. I go home because my mom lives with me, and I go home to kind of watch out and check on her, make sure she's okay. After that, I come back from my little 30-35 minute break, and I prepare and I start changing people again. It's hard to do when you got so much going on and you got a lot of people. It's hard to do 3 rounds in that 12-hour period, like every 2 hours, because the first 6 hours you got 2 meals, and then you got bathing. So you pretty much, by the time you get done with the first round, that's it. And then after I come back from my lunch break, that's when I do another round. Okay, after I do that round, about an hour and a half from that, supper comes out. So that's about between 4:30 and 5, supper comes out. So we serve supper. So it's pretty much as busy 12 hours. We serve supper to the patients or residents and assist again. By the time the supper is over, it's about time to go. But again, you sit down one more time at the kiosk and you chart the meal, the last meal of the day, what your patients had. You chart that in there. If they ate 100%, you put it in there. If they ate half of it, it's in quarters. Like, okay, if they ate 25%, that's what you put in there. If they ate 50%, you put that in 75, 100. That's how that is. And then you put how much they drank, and they do that in cc's. Like, if they drink, it's certain sizes, like it's like 80. You measure it. I mean, even if they drink half of that, you got to measure it somehow. Guesstimate is what I call it. How much you think they drunk. And sometimes you're not putting an accurate amount, because when you fill up their water pitchers, they're drinking that. So sometimes you're not counting everything they drink, because they could be done drinking that whole pitcher of water, but you just count much. You know, but you got to put something in there for Medicare, because that's where that goes to. That information goes to Medicare about what that patient or resident had to have for care. You put in there what kind of assistance do they need. Are they they need like small assistance? partial assistance, no assistance, or full assistance. You know, so say if they needed assistance transferring, eating, you're gonna put whatever your assistance was in the computer. You know, to let them know where that person is with their mobility and everyday ADL skills. Yeah, that's how that is. And then after supper, I usually have about 15 minutes left in the shift. Sometimes I have been there after 6 o'clock when the trays come out. You know, taking the trays up, and you take the cart back. And by the time you take the cart back, it's 6 p.m. time to clock out. So that's what I do Saturdays and Sundays. That's the day in the life of my shift on the weekend. And I tell you, when I leave out of there on Saturday nights and Sunday nights, my back is hurting. All day Monday, it hurts. I'm just kind of giving you guys an idea that if you ever thought of you wanted to do this kind of work, that's how it is. It's usually about the same routine at most facilities. Give or take, there's a difference. You know, everybody don't do everything the same, but that's how it is at my facility. And it just gives you an idea if you think, you know, you might want to do this kind of work or whatever in the nursing home setting. Because that's where my I say about 75 to 80% of my, or 90% of my experience is in the nursing home. So that's all I have for you on this subject. I'm going to get out here and concentrate on the road because it's coming down pretty good right now as I'm driving on this highway on the bypass. All right, toodaloo.